Why is pedophilia wrong, Sneako?
Yeah.
Because it's not how a relationship, because God says it's wrong.
No,
That's the reason why. Hold on, wait. So Sneako, no, wait. This is so
wrong.
easy. So then Sneako, so if God tells you that you can kids like he did with Muhammad or whatever, you think that's okay then? That you would change your mind on that tomorrow?
That's not what happened.
No. I'm asking you, if God tells you, Sneako, I think that kids is okay, then you would change your mind on it tomorrow.
There has to be a justification for everything.
Oh, hold on. God has
God
to
didn't say it,
justify
though.
himself? God has to justify it? If you're talking about the need for a justification, then that means something's not good because God says it. It's only good because he's giving you whatever the justification is. That's Sneako. If you need a book to tell you not to kids, I don't know what to tell you, okay? But most people can figure out why it's wrong on their own. What do you think the age of consent should be, Sneako?
Yeah, this is not an important conversation.
No, it's a super important. You don't think kids are not as an important conversation? What do you think the age of consent should be? If you want to be consistent, you don't think anything updates, just tell us what you think it should be.
I think it should be past at a developed age, Dustin.
What is a developed age? If you had to set a law for it, what would you set it? What would you set it about?
Oh, God.
It's a developed age.
No, answer the question, you f***ing pussy. Holy you're such a cowardly
Yo, player.
Hi, what's up?
What's up? Yo, bro. What are you working on? That's like some schizo shit.
I'm gonna do like studying around for World War II.
What? We already went. Wait. World War II. I thought we already did that.
We did, but I think it's good to know because I think there's modern stuff that people refer back to. It'd be nice to know, like in detail, a lot of stuff relating to the Holocaust because Nazis bring it up a lot, and a lot of Trump supporters and Nazis are starting to rewrite World War II history, saying that like, well, Britain started World War II, not Germany. And then a lot of people on the far left try to rewrite history by saying like, oh, the Soviet Union is the one who defeated the Nazis, not America, and blah blah blah. So it's just good to have like a good. I think.
Wait, so you take it upon yourself to be the one to like show the light?
Well, I just like to know it for myself so that when I make the arguments, I can have like a really strong, like it's helped a lot for the Israel-Palestine stuff. And I feel like most people just repeat stupid talking points, like even scholars. Like when I started the Israel-Palestine stuff, I thought that for the, what?
Are you going to like debate somebody about this or what?
It just comes up all the time. So it's good to know it. It's good to have the background, I think.
Wait, hold on.
Holding.
So wait, hold on. So you're studying against nobody?
Well, it comes up a lot. So like somebody will debate about it.
Wait, is there people that don't believe in the World War II?
Yes.
They think that there wasn't any World War II?
Well, they just think wrong things about it. Like people on the far left want to say that that Russia was the one who defeated the Nazis, or or people on the right will say like the Holocaust isn't that real, or it didn't happen as bad as they say it was, or people are now saying that like Great Britain or the United Kingdom started World War II, shit like that.
I know a bit about that actually. I took advanced war history in high school. I studied World War II. And I know they didn't defeat them, but I know that the Germans weren't prepared, and the attack took longer than they thought when they were pushing, and then they lost the big battle of Stalingrad. They got fucking clapped cheeks raw.
Yeah, they got clapped in a lot. Yeah, the Soviets lost a lot of people too, though. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know some of this stuff. I've the destroyers, the U-boats, all that. I studied that.
Nice, cool, good job. A+.
Is that kind of fun though?
Is it? Maybe I didn't like history at all in school, so I didn't learn fuck all. I mean, like I'm sure I learned about it.
I know the Iron Curtain, the Balkans and shit. The Schlieffen Plan, where they push north to fucking flank or some shit, and then they get fucked on in France or some shit. I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay.
Chat, am I right about any of this or not?
What happened? Wait. I'm gonna grab my water bottle real quick. 1 second.
I'm wrong. Pog. What else? Hold on, chat. Guys, I'll present back to the topics. Chat, it's important for me to be right about some of this shit. If I'm wrong, I can correct. You see what I can do, Disney?
What?
See, I have certain worldviews that I uphold, and sometimes I feel like they might just be wrong. And I think that's okay to be wrong. If I have better ones with more knowledge and data so that I can have a better stance. Thoughts about that?
Well, it depends on what exactly you're talking about.
Well, like the other day, like, you said you didn't watch it, right? But I heard you heard about like the whole feud with the other guys,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then because for me, it wasn't a big deal in certain ways. It was only a big deal in other ways. People got the wrong message, I feel like, overall, right? And the most important to me, I want to make sure I'm like right about it, right? And if I'm not, then I can just improve mindset. Yeah.
Can you do me a favor when you say like it's important to be right in some ways, but not? But
Yeah.
like,
I'll elaborate.
Yeah, just give me like an example. What do you mean?
Yeah. Okay, here it comes. What are your thoughts on the use of slurs, like F word? Like, give me your detailed version and understanding of its usage and whatnot.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So so this is my like broad view on humor and language, okay? I don't think that any like individual word is necessarily always bad or hateful.
That's kind of obvious.
Yeah, well, it's not to everybody. But like oftentimes words will be used in hateful ways. And also there are people that will always interpret a certain thing in a hateful way. Yeah, so it just depends on who you're talking to, what the environment is and everything else. I think that when you're engaging in edgy humor, I think it's really important for these are for my values. I think it's important to understand why you are getting a laugh that you're getting when it comes to deploying certain types of humor. So this is at least my impression. I don't know at this point. Maybe I'm fucking delusional, okay? But back in the day on the old internet, okay, when people would say like the most racist, vile shit you possibly could, the reason why it was so funny was because of how horrible it was and everybody knew it was horrible. Like, that's why people are laughing. So if you were to say some crazy shit about Chinese people, black people, whatever.
Yeah, it's the absurd. It's the absurdity of like the discussion is at a level 3. And now I'm gonna say something. It's like a level 300. Like Jesus Christ, it's far out.
Yeah,
and it's funny because of how far it is.
Yeah, it's funny because it's so obviously horrible. Yeah. Like we know that this is like a bad, horrible thing. But I think that like as the internet became more popular, especially probably in like the 2005s and onwards, 2010s and onwards, as more people became involved in the internet, a lot of this might just be due to like demographics of who's on the internet as well. So for instance, like 25, 30 years ago, the people on the internet are mainly going to be like probably fairly nerdy, fairly like liberal types, like left-leaning people. Like these are like your general demographics of who's on the internet, and then like kids and stuff who like the actual, you're not getting like this like deep south racism, on battle.net. These types of people just didn't tend to inhabit these spaces as much. But nowadays, the internet has a lot more different types of people on it. Depending on the communities that you're in, when you start making certain types of jokes, now it's funny, not because it's like edgy or horrible, but because you're like a truth sayer. There's like a degree of honesty to what you're saying. Like, oh, well, when he says that black people are like this, it's funny because we're not supposed to say that because of how true it is. Or when he talks about the Jews, it's funny because we know that this is true, and that's why it's funny.
Yeah, and it's like the fucking like the Andrew Tate phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you're gonna make a joke about women drivers, haha, whatever, right?
Yeah.
We know for a fact they're doing it for the people that are like, oh yeah, absolutely, women can't drive. These motherfuckers like that. It's gonna like the kid of these people, and it kind of gets.
Yeah. So when people want to do stuff like that, the thing that I always say is, "Oh, what's the joke?" Like, because some people will just say like they'll say some shit like, "Oh yeah, like I know black people have low IQ, and that's why they're fucking retarded." And then you're like, "That's kind of crazy, bro." And he's like, "I'm just joking." Okay, well, what's the joke? Because they're not going to say, "Well, the joke is that obviously, like it's horrible to say this." They're going to say, "Well, the joke is that it's true, and you're just too scared to say it." And I said in a funny way. And it's like, okay, well, you're not joking then. You're being mean. You're just being an asshole. You might be kind of funny when you're being an asshole, but you're not like telling jokes. Like you're.
Well, it has no tact. That's what you're saying.
Not even. I don't care about tact. I'm just saying that like you're not when you engage in a joke, the idea is there's some level of like deception or misdirection or like broadly speaking. Obviously there's different styles here, but that's like broadly speaking when you're talking about like really edgy dark comedy, generally that's what we're talking about. It's not usually just like, oh, well, this is just my way of being racist or hateful. That's generally not the point of like edgy humor. Usually it can be, but if it is, for me personally, I don't want to be involved in those communities, and I don't ever want to be using edgy humor in those communities, because when I say something and the intention is, well, obviously this is like a horrible thing, other people might be laughing and going like, hell yeah, brother. Like, I
Yeah,
agree.
exactly.
There we go. Hell yes. Destiny's woke on this. He's red pilled on this. He knows that. And it's like, no, f you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is pretty much what I meant. But I feel like Andrew Tate does a lot, in my opinion anyway. I feel like it's like how he gets a lot of points is like you make a joke, you make a comment, you make a whatever, you make like obviously like a hyperbole or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
And it's like you know for a fact that you can get away with by saying, oh, it's a joke, right? And then you know for a fact that some people are like cheering it in the background, like, oh, yeah, absolutely, this is so true, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of my view on it anyway. Okay. Okay. Then what do you know? What do you know about the other day then? Because I don't want to like waste your time or whatever.
What do I know about about like the you and Adin stuff?
Okay. So like they went sideways because usually what happens with these guys that I try to like kind of target intention. That's usually kind of how I do it, right? Like I know some of these guys like they're kind of just they want to be edgy for the sake of being edgy. I don't like it, but sometimes whatever. Like I'll talk a little bit for the sake of like doing stuff and whatever, and I'm not gonna be big fuss about it. And usually it's not a big issue, you know. Yeah, usually it's not like it doesn't break the flow of things and it's a disaster, right? Where I drew the line was very much with intention. That was because like some clip surfaced or something, and everybody was like, "Oh, people thought I was like trying to hide or something like this, like kissing clip or whatever." It would be me and Austin show, right? And people were like thinking that I was like trying to hide it or something like that or some shit. And these guys, it's like they're like almost convinced that I'm gay, which is not something that I even try to defend. Is like why even bother, you know?
Okay.
Like I feel like in my opinion, it's just like I think if these people want to push a joke like that, whatever, right? You don't. It's like you're not going to convince them any otherwise. And even if you show that you try too hard to convince them that you care, they'll just poke at it even more, right? Is that true or not?
If somebody knows that you care about a particular thing, yeah, they'll attack it more if they're trying to genuinely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. If they're friends, they shouldn't be. But if they're people, if they're haters, if people don't like you, then they'll poke that if they see that it's a vulnerable
exactly.
spot. Yes. Yeah.
So I didn't even bother like defending myself. Like, guys, I'm not gay. I swear. I kind of played into like whatever. I kiss guys. What about it, right? Which was kind of my view actually, but whatever. It's kind of how I played it off of. And then sometimes we play COD or play whatever, right? And then they'll throw the F word here and there, right? And I can kind of see that the intention like is not in like an anti-gay way, and they're just kind of being edgy, or whatever. And I'll like tolerate to hear it, right? Because it's like whatever, man. It's like, dude, I'm not. It doesn't like offend me personally, right? And they use like a plausible deniability of like because they've used it like I think maybe 15 times in the past. The other day, like there's like a big emphasis on that like clip of like me kissing whatever, and there's like an added layer of how I felt anyway, of like hostility, almost like because of that, which is like only my view on it, right? So this is like it's up to interpretation at this point, right?
Okay.
But then, at one point, I think he said something like, "Oh yeah, like you kissed dude, blah blah blah, F word," just kind of slams it. Right? And I was like, okay, well, I think the intention there is pretty much just like, that's pretty much the way that I'm not gonna tolerate how it's being used, you know? Like a very like targeted homophobia way. Like, did we agree to that or not?
I don't know the people enough. I mean, like, if I'm stereotyping based on Adin and his friend group, my assumption would be that those guys are all super homophobic. So that'd be my assumption, but I don't know them personally.
Yeah, but still, I don't want to leave it up to chance at this point, right? I'm trying to give you context. Like, the phrase was like, "Oh yeah, you kiss dude, blah blah blah, F word," right?
Okay.
So I was like, okay, well, I can kind of like tolerate hearing it, whatever, right? But that's just kind of like the intentions, like the intention would be to harm, right, or hurt somebody. Let's say I was gay, right? That I think that would be pretty lame to fucking hear, right? It's not really the type of interaction or people that I want to like kind of be around, and because if they're gonna operate that way, does that make sense? Does that make sense or not?
Sure. Yeah.
It's not really a method that I really agree with.
Okay.
So then I'm like, okay, this is like really lame I know all my other guys uncomfortable. And I was like, yeah, this is like really. So I kind of like, and I decided not to reply to what he said and just kind of chill. I'm like, I'll see how it plays out. And things get kind of like tense, or whatever. And then like, he like does it again, right? And I was like, well, because we weren't playing any games at that point anymore. We were like kind of done with the night, you know. And things were slowing down. It was looking in like a COD pregame lobby. So it's kind of like, you know, shit's gonna get fucking. And it was like 6 a.m. and I was like, okay, I'm kind of out of here. Like I'm not gonna sit here if we're just gonna be like that, you know. And then like everybody's like, oh my god, he's so soft, he's so this, he's so that. And I was like, guys, like I'm not gonna like I care about my community, but I uphold certain worldviews or whatever, and I don't want to be around that. Like I'm not gonna like let him do that. And people were like, oh my god, you're soft. Also, like why are you so hurt? And I was like, it's not about me being hurt. It's like me not wanting the platform shitty ass behavior, right?
Okay.
I don't agree that you should be using like that word if it's targeted in that way. It's just not. It's not something that I want to have on my stream.
Just curious, did you ever communicate that to them? Did you say like, hey, like, can we not do like calling people faggots or whatever? Or did you just?
I think at that point they got the gist of it. Like,
okay. Wait, at that point, that you left, or the point like?
No. Before the second time or the third time.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
every time they say it, I always go like, well, guys, chill the f out. I always nudge them every time. Not even once have I not said anything when they said it. Not even once. Check and say whatever they want about this. I know I always at least nudge them all the time about it.
Okay.
Always.
Okay. So it should have been obvious that you probably didn't. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's like, dude. I think you say a word. It was like, yo, or like, what the. I think it's indicated that like, dude, it might be kind of out of pocket. True or not? Do you think that's enough of a social cue? You think or not?
Damn, this is like brutal, but do you have like a clip of this happening just so I could watch the interaction? My assumption would be it's pretty obvious, but.
Yeah, sure. Chap, look up.
The reason why I also don't think why I wouldn't believe this, and I might just be going by what other people have said, so maybe I don't have all the facts. But if that was the case, oftentimes, this happens in criminal court, by the way, you can figure out a person's intention based on the behavior afterwards. So if they had said that to you and you left, and they were like, well, I didn't know it was a big deal, my bad, then that might be one thing. But I thought that what they'd said afterwards was, well, he made fun of us for being brokies and stuff. And if they're saying that, then that means that you did intend to insult that way. That was your goal, right? If that's your justification afterwards. But I don't know if I saw them say that or if I read them say that. Maybe I missed that, but...
It's something that a lot of some of their community was like, that was the point of defense. Was like, oh, he opened the door to this because they did that. Oh, we can say this because they said that. And then they try to they go posted like something with oh, he said tug when I didn't say it. They were wrong about it.
Yeah, but so that means that they are trying to insult with it, and they know that it's insulting. So do you know?
Yeah, of course. But usually they say the F word to one another, right? Like kind of rarely, like kind of in there. But that day, like you could, bro, it was obvious. Like especially with the way you said it. It was in a way that like if I was gay, it would mean to like, and then the intent would be to harm that way. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Can you give me?
Gay,
wait.
And I didn't agree with it.
Sure. Can you give me like 1 minute? I just want to watch.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is when you leave the call. Okay.
I did not call them tugs. Nobody was called a tug ever. Just stuff like that. Okay. There's like a big like misinformation campaign or some shit like that. Like people are literally trying to push the narrative. I said I called them tug. That never happened. Like that's like a ultra lie.
Okay. Fuck. You can't. Okay. Give me like 1 minute. I'm just gonna listen to this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute this for a sec.
Damn, I'm a hell.
Man, I don't give a fuck, but that nigga can say whatever he want to say. But when I say because he kissed a boy on camera, I'm the bad guy. I don't give a fuck.
Hold on. That's actually so Sneaky. You realize when you say it like that actually makes.
Okay, yeah, okay, sorry. What? Okay, I just heard all I need to do. I'm good. Yeah, the guy probably just doesn't like gay people. He's probably super homophobic. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, on a normal day, I would kind of fight against it or whatever, and like it. Can I vocalize all that, right? At 6 a.m. in a COD lobby, I was like, brother, it's like the third time he says it today, right? I'm just gonna withdraw and just call it a day. Because people are on this were already uncomfortable, whatever. They're like, guys, I don't want to, like, and it was like, yeah, or let's just call it a night, right? And I was really like, let it at that, like, leave it at that and fucking move on, right? But like, everybody just like, lost their minds. Like, oh my God, so soft, whatever. And I don't think it's about being soft. I think it's about like how I want stuff that I broadcast to make sense for me, right? And how I like, it's just how I want the broadcast to be and feel for people, right? I think there's a few limits I'll accept, right? And that's just something that I don't like.
Sure. I would say that like if you want to give somebody like the biggest chance possible, then you communicate that like, hey, listen, like here's the line on insults that I don't ever want on my stream because I don't feel like it communicates whatever message I want to communicate to my audience. And then if there's certain insults that you guys don't want because you think that it communicates a really poor message, then let me know. And then you just have like that back and forth, and then you have that like ironed out going forward, basically. Yeah.
So and other people say, oh, it's about virtue, whatever. I don't think it's about virtue. Like if it was about virtue, I would have made a big deal about it and a big up in arms and some big cancellation on Twitter, whatever. The first time I said it, I didn't say shit because I thought, okay, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, right? Maybe a slip up or something like that. I'll see how it goes. But it happens like repeatedly. Does that make sense? So it's like I was like,
yeah, but I mean, you also have to be careful. I don't know if I'm devil's advocating too hard, or I'm just trying to represent the other side because I'm not 100% sure. But like, you have to be careful because if they say it one time and you don't react, they might think that okay, well, f it, like he doesn't care that much about this, and then they keep pushing forward with it, right? Yeah. Somebody in my chat just said this. This is a reliable drama farmer, so I'm assuming this is true. Somebody in my chat said, this discussion had happened with Adin and Train the night before. Adin's boys were going hard explicitly because XQC had said publicly that this was frustrating him. Do you know if that's true or not?
That's not true at all. Like, what? The fuck?
Wait, so you don't, that's not true at all, or?
When have I expressed publicly I don't get it.
So you hadn't expressed publicly that this was frustrating you, or?
I mean, no. I mean, what was frustrating me? What?
I don't know. Just calling people f***s, maybe. That's my guess. I'm not sure what this is about. That's what he said in response to.
Well, I mean, people have known that my stance. Like, I mean, I don't use the word, and I usually don't fucking hang out. People are gonna use it like maliciously on my stream. I don't do that.
Yeah, but I think what he's saying is that since you had talked about this the night before with Adin and Train, that's why the other guys were using it. I think.
No, I think could be wrong. If I were to be reasonable about this, I'd say that what inflamed this or that behavior was the kissing clip, where like people put in the narrative that it was gay somehow, and like that was like what they were running with it. And I thought, I think they're using that like, oh yeah, if he's gay, like we're gonna use that word against him, whatever. And it's gonna be a hitter.
Sure. People are saying that you memed on Twitter that you were angry at the clip, and then Destiny, he was literally arguing with Train, Adin, DJ Act the night before about it.
Oh yeah, I mean I think that's gonna parallel. But I don't think that's what inflamed. I think that's like an additive of fuel.
Okay.
I really think that the like the found clip on Twitter, like they all reacted to the clip of like me kissing us in it. Like that was really oh yeah, this guy's gay as fuck.
Yeah, but I think that people are saying that because you had that conversation, then that clip got dug up and then posted all over Twitter.
Oh yeah, that's why yeah.
So that argument led to the clip being dug up a ton, and then when you're playing the next day, that's why they were like calling you a fag and stuff. It's because of all of that happened. Yeah, that sounds like the chain of events. Yeah, but in that case, like none of this was about like them just like bantering back and forth. It's because they thought that it would bother you. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that was like where I drew the line because I thought like. If I was actually gay and they kind of went for that, right? Like, if it was off stream, I could not give a fuck. I didn't want to do it on stream. I think it's kind of like where I personally draw the line on that. Mm-hmm. Is that like a line? It's like you think it is drawn overly over the top and overly like reactive, or I'm like virtue signaling or whatever, or what?
No, I think that's a totally acceptable line. What do you mean?
Okay, just wondering. See because
to not have like homophobic people calling you. I think that's 100% an acceptable line. That's like the easiest line in the world. What the fuck? Yeah.
Yo, goblin bitch. Listen, Destiny.
Wait, am I the goblin bitch, or are you talking to someone else?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
the way you talk, okay, it's kind of cold, and you know what you do, okay? When you don't give verbal feedback on the content of a dialogue, your audience and your interlocutor will get lost on whether you agree or are following. When you say nothing, you're the person you're talking with. You're gonna lose them.
Wait, when you're saying you, do you mean like me personally, or you mean like in a general sense? Is that what you're talking about?
No, you or anybody. I think when you dialogue, when you have a dialogue with somebody, like me right now, right? Mm-hmm. If I say like, oh yeah, that's what I do, right? Mm-hmm. Usually you can say, oh yeah, that's reasonable, or yeah, that's what I do, or I do this. But if you say nothing, I'm on the difference like it. You don't agree or whatever. That's kind of how I see it. Because I'm here for like kind of like advice I'm here to like what my views. I kind of need some sort of like feedback on guidance. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't like to tell people like how to feel or what to do. If you're just looking for support, we need like a safe word for that. I've had this with people in the past.
No. Okay, bro.
Well, okay, if you're like, listen, stop, hold on, rewind, okay? Listen, you asked me a
told you
question.
what was in the first place. I told you, right?
Okay, you asked me, is it reasonable to have that stance? And I said, yeah, I think that's totally reasonable to not want to be called,
Yeah,
slurs.
now you did it, yeah.
Yeah, that's totally reasonable, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Well, I'm not even like to reinforce dumb mindsets, right? I'm mostly here to see like if there's validity in like the other point of views, right? And how do I get more views and mindsets to just have a better understanding of everybody else? Like I need to know like where people come from, right? And whatnot, what they think. Is it valid? Is it not valid? I want to
Sure,
expand
hold on.
that.
So are you asking like, how do you convince other people that your reaction is acceptable, or how do you understand people that are disagreeing with you?
I guess, but I'm not adamant about doing it because I know that it's an uphill battle. Like you're not going to convince anybody of anything. Let's be honest.
Well, I wouldn't be so sure of that. You're one of the, if not the most popular streamer in the world or in the English-speaking world. I think you probably have a lot of sway and can convince a lot of people of a lot of things, even if you don't see it immediately. So, yeah, I think your voice matters for this 100%.
Okay. Well, I mean, the mission is to at least kind of explain where I'm at on that, right? And why certain things. I think that's kind of like the minimum, right?
Yeah.
And I think it was pretty reasonable about it. Because I could have. Like, obviously, you know how the streaming world works. I could have made a big song and dance and fucking, oh my goodness, I was called this word, like, cancel this person, this is so unfair, and this is disgusting. I could have done all that, right? I think extracting at that point was pretty reasonable, considering my views. Yes or no?
Sure, I understand what you're saying, that, like, leaving at a certain point seems reasonable. I do think that it's possible to express certain things without being, like, super soy. Like, I think it's okay to tell people, like, hey, bro, can you not, like, call me, like, a fag? Like, that's kind of weird, especially since I know you fucking hate gay people. Like, let's just not do that. I think that's totally fine. Or
you think the response will be good with that? Do you think the response with this group of people will be positive and have any sort of impact, or will go anywhere?
Well, hold on. There's going to be some negative impact. There's going to be some people that disagree with that, but who cares? Like, I mean, you've made your stance 100% clear. If they continue to push it, then fuck them. Or you make a deal. Like, hey, listen, if you want to call me a fag, that's fine, but I can call you the N-word or something like that. I don't know. You can go really hard with it in the other direction. But I think it's totally fine to say, like, hey, listen, like on my stream, in my community, like, I don't do shit like that there. Like, I'm super edgy. I wouldn't stand for it. If I was playing against people and they started calling me slurs, I'd say, like, no, f you. Unless I can start calling you whatever the f I want to call you,
Okay,
we're not going to do this. This is bullshit.
I understand it. Maybe it's like counterintuitive then. I'm gonna say how it is. This is my social read on this advice. With a group like that, that's how you get fucking your cheeks clapped raw.
What do you mean cheeks clapped raw?
Like they will probably make fun of you, double down, and have their entire group of people fucking quadruple down and just like fucking toss you aside and make you like, oh my god, sorry that, and clip you and belittle you for it. Something that you got to do with more finesse and just say, hey man, we're on streamer now. Could you please not do that's just not.
I super disagree. I think you can actually do it. I think it's totally fine. I think people like build these situations up in their head like way harder than that. Like I think most of the time it's like pretty chill. I think if you just tell somebody straight up, I remember like the drunk driving commercials and shit. Like if you tell somebody like, hey bro, like I think this is not cool, and you're just like straight up with it, I think it's a better response than just being like very timid or kind of walking away or seeming less secure about it. I think if you're confident when you say it and you assert it like, you know, pretty strongly, like, hey, don't do this, like, and then we're done. I think it's okay. I think it works. Yeah.
Understood. Do you feel like okay? I feel like you're kind of navigating this dialogue with slightly bad faith. Let me tell you why. Just because of the way, whenever you do the debates with people, right?
Sure.
You have like a fun side, right? And you have like a decent debate side, right?
Yeah.
And you try to make it a fun thing, right? Even though you want to debate them really hard, and try to do like push and pull about it, right? And just for people to have fun and to get your point across, instead of a debate where it's not unfun and you don't get invited anymore to like people's gatherings or whatever. You do that, right?
Okay, yeah.
Right? That's kind of like how I do it with people. I feel like doing your method in that one is like slightly too formal, right? And kind of like kills the vibe in that way. it's like kind of an unfun way. I think there's like a better way to. Maybe just talk about it later.
Can I? Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. I understand 100% what you're saying, and I would have agreed with you a while ago. But this is actually, honest to God, this is a huge personal problem that I had for a long time.
Go ahead.
I think that when you're engaging with people, especially people that are friends of yours, or at least you have friendly relationships with, and this applies to everybody in life, I think that there are certain types of people, maybe you included, definitely me, where your desire is to kind of like give in to or maintain the peace, sometimes even at the expense of what you're personally comfortable with. So if somebody really wants you to do something you don't want to, you're like, okay, I'll go along with this. I don't like ruin the vibes. I don't want to whatever, okay, fine. And what that does is you create a boundary to where, you create an environment where you can literally never put a boundary up at all. Because then what happens is as soon as you do, now people are going to be really mad at you because you used to be cool with all these things. And now all of a sudden you're telling them to go like way further back than where they ever thought they thought everything was cool with that before, right? So in this circumstance, it might be them calling you 3 times, and then on the 4th time you leave, and they're like, wait, so what was it 4 times is too much? When what you really want to do is, well, hold on, I actually really wanted to set a boundary the first time you said it. I didn't want you to do it at all. But if you wait for the behavior to become normalized, what happens is that when somebody does a behavior and you don't respond to it, that becomes the new norm on which your future interactions are built, and then they'll just push more and more and more and more, and then when you finally push back, now they're going to be really aggressive, and then it's going to be really hard. And then also on the flip side, like, think about it like this, okay? If you're dealing with somebody and you're genuinely friendly with them, I would hope this is your answer. If this wasn't, I would never talk to you. I would think you're a trash human. If I told you like, hey, when you come on my stream, okay, I just had my divorce and everything. Like, could you just not go over all this or like make fun of me for this or like attack me on this because I just don't feel like dealing with it? I imagine if I told you that, you would accept that without a second thought. Right? You wouldn't even think to fight. You would just be like, yeah, of course, right? Yeah. And by me telling you that, there's 2 things that are happening there. 1, I'm trusting you that I can give you that boundary and you would respect it. And then 2, you're trusting me that you can say things that if I haven't told you they're off limits, that we'll be cool with, right? And that kind of like 2-way respect is really important for building a friendship. If there was something that you didn't want me to talk about or I didn't want you to talk about that one of us didn't feel comfortable bringing up, it shows that there's either a lack of trust or a lack of respect in that friendship. And I think those are bad friendships, right? Because I'm guessing that on Adin's side or any of his friends, if they were to say, hey, listen, like, I know that we joked a lot in the past, but like, can we just never do like thug jokes or never do any of these types of jokes? Can we just not do that? I imagine you would probably say, yeah, of course, I can stay away from that. That's fine, right?
100%.
So you should hope that they would do the same for you. And if they wouldn't, then fuck them, right?
Yeah. I think there comes a usually pretty general understanding. I feel like with people that like some views are like not going to be had, right? Maybe that's me being delusional. I think I've been delusional definitely with this group, or like I don't think they're going to do this because I don't think they actually hate gay people or they hate this group or they do that. But I think maybe now realizing that like they after that one clip of that guy that they just got banned, I think these are views that they do hold. And now maybe I was wrong the whole time. And the nature of our interaction, I think this is a boundary I had to set. This is a boundary I think usually nobody breaches. Does that make sense? It's like an overall thing that people don't do. You don't have to fucking...
No, yeah, I understand. There are some things where it's like for instance, if I was going to date somebody new, I'm never going to set the boundary like, don't hit me. Because like, I wouldn't even want to...
Exactly.
I know what you're saying.
That's kind of how I felt about it.
But when it comes to like slurs and some things, there are going to be some communities who are going to be like, hey, listen, like, I just don't roll this way. Like, I don't say these types of words, or like, I don't want this in my community. Like, I'm sure you can respect that. And also, this is an added level of scrutiny. Like, you guys are all making, like, I was going to say 7, but not like, you're like 8, 9 figures, depending on what you're talking about, like yearly. You guys are making lots of money. There's a lot of eyes on you. Like, this is a bare minimum level of maturity that should be expected in environments like this, right?
That's kind of how I felt about it.
Yeah, when the dollar amounts are this high, when the number of eyes on you are that high, like, this should be a pretty easily expectable thing. If somebody's like, trying to rebuke or like freaking the fuck out over, being told like, what, I can't use slurs in this audience, then I mean, like, that's kind of, bro, you got to grow up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a okay. So I'm not trying to look like I'm trying to be a contrarian, but it's usually not the meter or the standard that I like to use to if should I say something or not, right? Mm-hmm. If I have certain views or whatever, I like to think my views are pretty decent, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna get canceled or I'm not gonna get fucked over because I think my views they're generally decent. If they're not, I'd like to fix them, right? So like I never just say, oh, if this is gonna hurt my wallet, or I'm gonna lose money if I don't say this. Mm-hmm. That's not like the guide for kind of how I interact. Does that make sense? So I wouldn't use that as like the turning point here. Like, oh, guys, we're making too much money to be talking like this. It's not really like that, but I get where you're coming from, though. It makes sense.
You don't, and by the way, you don't have to use that as a talking point. The reality is if you're dealing with a group of respectful people, you really shouldn't have to justify it at all. In fact, I would say somebody asking you for a justification, unless you're asking about something really weird, that's probably going to be an indication of like a bad person. Like on a woman-man interaction, those are like your potential rapists. Or when you try to set a boundary and somebody wants to fight on it, like if you're like, hey, I don't like to use this thing, they're like, why not, bro? Why does it matter? Like, well, you. What do you mean? Why does it matter? Like, yeah, then the N words come out. Like, you should just go. If somebody wants to have no respect for your boundaries, then you should just go as hard as you want in the other direction. Fuck yeah, that's what I think in a video game. But
well, I mean, don't be aggressive about it. But I think the discussion of boundaries, whatever. I mean, that's fair. That's fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I think probing about why something is a boundary might give you hints about other boundaries that don't have to be communicated. If you understand the root. Like the essence of why it's a boundary in the first place. Does that make sense? So sometimes inquiring about a boundary isn't bad, not because you're fighting against it, but because you want to learn more about them, and maybe there's something else I don't have to explore or try, and then I can get a better view of it. Does that make sense?
But that's going to be, you'll know immediately like what that is. So like if you were to say to somebody like, hey, I don't like it when you say like the F slur, can we like not do that on my stream? If somebody's like, why the not? Like, who cares? It's not a big deal. That's one thing. But if somebody's like, oh, okay, are you like, do we not use like any slurs, or like, why is it the F slur? Is it because of something or whatever? Like that kind of a question is more like a genuinely curious one. But when they ask that there, like you said, they're also probing for like, okay, well, are there other boundaries I should be aware of? Or like, I don't want to cross the line in some other way. Like, what if I just make fun of you for being gay, but I don't say that we're right? So there's a good faith question to make sure that you understand the boundary well. But then there's also like a challenge, right? Like a probe isn't a challenge. The first question is a challenge to the boundary to say like, well, I don't accept this. Like, let's argue over it, you know?
Yeah, you can communicate that pretty easily. I think it's pretty easy to tell if somebody has the right intentions, is being curious, or is being combative, or is fighting again. I think it's not something that somebody can like disguise easily. I feel like true or not. Usually, most of the time, unless they're like really like bad people, I feel like it.
Sometimes, but also. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, but remember, when you step into a totally different community, you also got to be careful too. Like, because as mean as I'm being towards these other guys, like, keep in mind, these guys are probably coming from communities where, especially the type of community you're coming from, like, being gay is literally like the worst fucking thing in the world. Like, like anything, like challenges to your masculinity, to your character. So not only is it important to not be gay, it's really important for everybody to know how not gay you are. It's like the most important thing in the world. So when you see gay behavior, you've got to call it out. Like, these guys will have more finely attuned gaydars than actual homosexual people that are actually taking up the ass, because they're so on alert for every possible potential gay thing, and they have to call it out to prove how not gay they are. But that's like the communities that they've been in, and that's how like they've been raised, and that's how the way they communicate. So so you have to be aware that like not everybody will come from the same value background. And
a lot of times I feel like it's like when there's like too much work to do. Like I'm not somebody's nanny, and I don't want to be this like, oh, you shouldn't be this, you should be that, you should be that. I feel like sometimes it's like if they have those behaviors or whatever, it's kind of like okay, well, I mean, I'd rather like kind of distance myself or whatever, because I feel like there's too much there. Makes sense? You're just incompatible in that way. Sure or not? It's just too much.
I mean, it depends on the character of the person that you're with, I guess, because there's a separate quality for understanding and agreeing with somebody's boundary, and then there's a separate quality for this is a social norm and I'm just going to respect it regardless. Like, you could have a really strong feeling that nudity is the way of the world and everybody should be a nudist and blah blah blah, but still have enough respect for people that you visit or people around you to like wear clothes when you see them, right? So you're not necessarily agreeing with their value of wearing clothes, but like you have enough respect for them to respect their particular values, if that makes sense, right? So they might come from a community where like, well, listen, we say this all the time, and I think your rule is like kind of dumb. Like, I say like retarded and autistic, but if I was around somebody who was like, listen, like, we're going to do these projects, we're going to listen, could you like not say these words? I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I have no problem with that. That's okay. Like, I can be respectful of that. I don't agree 100%. With your position there, but like, I'll do this out of respect for you. Yeah.
I guess I kind of have about that one word. I was under the impression, still am, that like, I don't think it's a lot asked to like dodge one or like two words.
No, of course not.
Especially if used in that way, because it was in the past used in other ways, like just trying to, I guess, be edgy or whatever, just using it or whatever, right? And I was like just not that, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Do you want to? Somebody's saying that some Cuffem guy wants to talk. I don't know. Was he one of the people involved in this, or?
If he's gonna act like a good faith, sure.
Okay, I don't know.
Well, I mean, giving up on people doesn't do any good. Let's be honest, right?
Doing what? Say that again.
Giving up on people doesn't really do anything for anybody, does it?
Well, I mean, it depends. When you say giving up on people, sometimes there's too much like psychic damage you have to endure to help some people. Like if there was
True,
like a black
true,
guy
but
dealing with a
okay,
genuine
okay,
like
okay.
Nazi, I'd be
In
like,
con-
it's not
in
your job to reform this
context-
guy. Yeah.
In context, I'm not being, I'm being fucky about it. Like Jesus Christ, brother.
Well, are you asking me like, do you think it's worth it for you to even bother with this? Like, should you just let them say whatever word they want, or should you just never play with games with them again?
No, I generally think it is. I think it's just like whatever.
Oh, well, if you don't care that much, then why leave or make a big deal about it at all then?
Well, I'm saying, I can't have to entertain it.
Well, you don't have to entertain it, right? There are like,
Yeah, but I can't have to. It's whatever. I think it's fine.
well, you kind of have. Wait, why do you think you have to?
Did I say that?
Wait, say that again. Do you?
Oh, yeah. I don't think I said that. Did I?
I don't know what you said for the last 5 sentences. Restate the position. Sorry.
I said I think I care enough to entertain it.
You think you care enough to entertain them saying the word, or care enough to make them not say the word or not play with them if they don't?
To hit them out on perspective about it, right?
Oh.
To be like, are they a fucky person, or is this like a misunderstanding?
Oh, okay. Sure. So, wait, does that mean you want to talk to the guy, or?
Sure, yeah, I don't mind.
Okay.
I mean,
Gotcha.
Dude,
okay.
this is another worldview that I try to uphold, right? Is that I generally think that even sometimes when people say, oh my God, this person is this or that, I try to be like, yeah, but I think people are here and there, and they're not like beyond repair in that way. Like, I think shutting out entirely on them or whatever is fine, right? Like, cause I was given a lot of chances in my life. I wanna kind of uphold that for other people. Yeah.
I think that's highly contextual. I wouldn't make a general rule for that. Like
Fair.
people that are closer to you or have earned more trust or you have more obligations to, you're going to have like more like reason to give them a lot of chances. So like if your wife or your child messes up, you're going to give them a lot more chances than like a stranger on the street, right?
I don't think the person has failed me enough times to justify being like, oh my God, I got mad this one time about one thing. They're done forever. It's not, I think there's not a lot of verbal things that can have you have that mindset.
I feel like it really depends on a person's attitude, and it depends on like how they've approached a problem, I think. Like I think there are some things where I'd be like, okay, yeah, fuck it, like we can give him another chance, I guess. And there are other things where I'd be like, one time on this, like, no, fuck you, this is retarded. Like, no.
Yeah, true.
But I think it would really depend. I don't know if I could ever generalize that. It would really depend on.
Chad, have him add Disney because I'm doing this shit.
Ugh, you're gonna.
Well, I mean, have him join the server or whatever.
I would have to drag him in. And we just do a call, right? Wouldn't that be easier?
The what?
Wouldn't it be easier to do it like a group call with us?
Oh yeah, I'm playing this game and I'm kind of doing good, so I didn't want to. I'll tap out of it, but I'll tap out.
Can he call you and then you drag me in and then we do it like that? Isn't that how it would work?
Yeah. I want you guys to do all the work because I'm in this game and I'm kind of going hard, but it's alright. I'll do it.
Can't you just like float in your area for a little bit and not get eaten? Tab out and do it. Multitask. Didn't you play StarCraft in League? What the fuck?
I do circles.
Oh my god.
Okay, ready? I can StarCraft this up. Here it comes.
I would do my research at the beginning of my stream, so I make sure I get it out of the way for the day. But it opens my streams with such a boring segment. But maybe that would be better for like knowledge.
Yo, I got it. Yeah. He added him and I lost when I tapped out.
Yo,
What's up, bro?
it was good. I was just sharing my side of the story. You get what I'm saying? So I heard you wanted to hear my side to you. So what you want to talk about? What we debating about?
I wasn't debating about anything. I was just trying to think about like my views and how it plays out with a group of friends. I simply just something you said. You're sorry for it, and I mean, thank you for that. So thanks for. See, the thing I didn't have time to tell you guys or whatever, right? Or I could have, is that it's not about me, right? It's not about whenever you use it like against me or whatever, right? Because it doesn't really hurt me myself, right? It's much more like when I'm streaming or whatever, right? And we're in a group and people will use certain words in that way, whatever, right? Wait, is it the wrong guy?
Nah. It's me and Snaggy, but no.
Well, that's the wrong guy.
What you mean the wrong guy?
Bro, it's the wrong guy.
Oh, wait, I didn't apologize yet.
Oh, Schnags, it's already on Twitter, and then you're here.
Yeah.
Oh, then why are you here? Did you say something? Did you say something bad, is it? I don't remember.
I was talking to you on COD. You was calling me poor and a thug and shit. Yeah, like.
I did not call you a thug. That did not happen.
You did call me a thug.
I did not call you a thug. That didn't happen.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Wait. Tug or thug?
Thug. He was like, this is not the streets. You don't got a gun. You don't got a gun in your hand. It's a controller.
Brother. I think you failed to understand it yesterday. People were saying like, bro, they're saying they're gonna rob you and shit like that, and then you guys were like yelling and shit and doing a bunch of shit that was like acting tough. That the essence that you guys were acting tough.
Talk. It's called COD.
Exactly. So what I said is that, yo, bro, you're not tough. Like you're not gangster. Like you're not.
Nigga, I'm a gamer just like you.
Well, that's what I meant by that. I didn't mean to compare it like that. Oh, you're a tug. I mean, like the behavior that you were doing and what you were talking is like behavior that's like kind of gang. And I'm like, you're not about that life. It's just trash. But it doesn't do with you being a tug.
I used to be about that life, but I put down my flag years ago.
I'll let you win. I'll let you win this debate. Okay. Yeah, maybe you were a tug if you want to be. It's not what I was talking about though.
No, but what I'm talking about, when me and my friend Snaggy Hoes, my day one homie, we're not homophobic. If we're saying it directly to you, that doesn't mean it goes to the people that's actually gay. Unless, what I was saying is, unless you're actually gay, and then if you're actually gay, then we apologize. But if you're not actually gay, then there's nothing to apologize about, and it was towards you, and it was COD shit.
Yeah. So, if this might sound complicated, maybe I'm wrong about it. No, I'm not. That's kind of like, I don't agree with that last part, because if the intention is that, oh, like you think I'm gay, so you're gonna use that word or whatever, right? It's still the intention, and I think that kind of hits like the people that are watching. I think across the board, like, I think it kind of hits the target. Even though the target isn't like me, it's like them. Does that make sense? Because that's the intention behind it.
What about the thug target, the people that stuck in the streets with guns and shit that can't get out the streets and they get killed every day? What about them?
Well, I mean,
it's a community. It's a gay community and it's a thug community. You get what I'm saying? We both use them. I didn't use the F word towards the gay community. I used it towards you, as in COD shit talk. We was all riled up. We was winning wagers, like, you know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But in that way, I don't think I belittled or had a negative thing to say about actual tugs. All I say is that the way you're acting and tough. In context, you are not a tug. I'm not saying that their lifestyle is not good or like they're lesser for it. I'm just saying you are not a tug. That's so. I don't think I'm being I'm not insulting the people that are actual tugs. And even if I were, I don't think that legitimate tugs are a protected class or like a marginalized minority of some sorts. Like what?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So what you're saying is you wasn't attacking the actual thugs, and what I'm saying, I'm saying is we wasn't actually attacking the gays.
I think the difference. I think what XQC is saying is that like if you talk tough or act tough in a game or something, that's like you're not like a thug in real life. That was like the joke. It wasn't because you were black or because he like is stereotyping you as a thug. Whereas if you call XQC a fag, it's not because he's acting gay in the game. It's because of like a picture you saw or something like meta or outside of the game. It sounds like, is that what he's saying?
I mean, it's the same thing.
I mean, it's not really at all, but
he kissed the guy. He could just say he was trolling.
Well, yeah, but did he kiss the guy in Call of Duty? And that's what you were talking about?
That's what I seen it on Call of Duty. Like
in the game, you can do that now? I haven't played any of the recent CODs. No, can you kiss people in the game or?
No, Spad. I pulled it up on the side and I seen it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Because we was talking shit at first, and they was like, "Cuff, look, Cuff, look," and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Ah." But, you know, I wasn't looking at it like.
Was he pulling up like videos of you thugging on the side, or was he just talking about stuff you were saying in game? Because there's a difference, right?
What do you mean videos of me thugging? Like, what did you like? What did
As
you
in
saying?
videos of you on the street, okay, being a soldier or some bullshit. Was he looking at shit from you out of the game, or was he responding to words that you were saying in the game? Right?
He probably did. See, I don't know what he saw. I wasn't in his stream. I was in Aiden's stream because we wasn't on each other's team, so I wasn't in his stream at all. Like I was on Aiden's stream, and I was
Okay,
in
well, it
Aiden's
sounds
chat.
like he said that he was referring to something in particular that you said. Did you say those things in particular? And then he was responding to those things? I don't think that's like a hit on your background or anything else. It just sounded like he was referring to what you were saying in the game. Or was he referring to things about him like personally outside of the game?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't bring. I said I'm talking about. I was talking on the game. It wasn't nothing outside the game. Once we load up COD, everything is on COD. What happens on COD stays on COD. When you get off COD, it's a whole different world. You know what
Okay,
I'm
so if
saying?
he
Like,
called you the N-word in COD, then you'd be cool with that?
like which type of N-word?
The one with the hard R.
What do you mean if I'll be cool with that? It's shit talk. I'm not gonna care, but the black community probably gonna care.
Wait, why? But it's just in COD. Why should they care?
That's what I'm saying. Why should, if it's in COD, why should XQC try to say that his gay community care if he didn't hear from them? That's basically the same thing you're saying. It's not a one-way street. It goes two ways. I know I'm Miranda, I know I'm broke,
I'm not
but
saying it's
it's
one way.
the
I'm
same
just
thing.
saying that like to say that like, well, something you say in COD is only in COD and it doesn't come out like it just seems like obviously that's not true, right? You can say things in the game that can be incredibly personal about things outside of the game that people are going to take a certain type of way. That's pretty obvious, right?
Of course, but I'm saying that the only reason why I think this is a big deal is because SQC might be actually gay. If you're actually gay, SQC, you don't want to come out yet, I apologize, and I didn't mean it like in that way, but it was just some shit. I'm thinking you're straight. So
It has
when
nothing,
when
it
I'm
has
saying
nothing
that-
to do. It has nothing to do with him being gay or not. It has to do with finding things outside of the game and then making fun of him in the game for those things. That's not like shit talk in the game and then pretending that. And you might think it's okay, that's fine. But him making fun of things that you're saying in the game is not the same as you making fun of him for things you found outside the game. Those are two completely different things.
What's the difference? What's the difference? Why does it matter though? It's shit talk.
Because I think the intention is that the intention is if you're using it because you think I'm gay or whatever, even though it doesn't hit me, that intention hits other people. That was just my point about it. And it's not that big. You don't have to.
Well, no, it's not about the intention. It's like, let's say that you're playing games, and let's say there's a white kid and he's playing with a black kid, and he knows that the kid is black and they're playing games. And let's say that the black kid says something like, "Fuck me, I just failed the 8th grade and I'm getting held back again, and my parents can't afford to send me to a tutor or whatever." And let's say your friend's like, "Damn, you're fucking retarded and broke." He's not being racist, right? But let's say that a white kid is playing with a black kid and he just knows the kid is black and that's it. And the kid doesn't say anything. He's just like playing it. He's like, "Man, you sound like a broke, uneducated dipshit." Well, that feels kind of racist, right? In one, he's responding to something the guy said in the game. And in another, he's just making assumptions based on things outside of the game or like based on the person's appearance, right?
Well, in the game, my character not fat, and in the game, I got a lot of money on the game, so I'm not fat and broke in the game. So when he said I was fat and broke, nigga, that came outside the game. That hurt my heart because I am fat and broke. So that's the same shit, nigga. He bringing up I'm fat and broke. That's outside the game. I'm gonna bring up he kissed another outside the game. That's just how it is, my nigga. It's even. It's even. We were talking, was having fun. That is what it is. Am I fat and broke in the game? No, I'm fat and broke outside of the game. So it's the same shit.
Okay. I think it comes down to worldviews. I feel like there's some words and some things that I should have more tact when using, right? And even though you might not agree with it, I feel like race and sexual orientation, the other things are kind of like a little bit more protected in that way, right? And I try to not kind of do jokes about that and kind of hit him on that. If that makes sense. So
No, I get what you're saying.
I don't think that like I don't think that it's like a label that like fat people get to have the protection for, right? Same way for like short or ugly, like it's not like a protected class. It's not like, oh, you can't say it. If you're fat, you're not like protected. That's just how I feel about it.
It is a thing called fatophobic, though. It is a thing called that.
Yeah, but I'm fatphobic. What about it? I mean, I'm openly about that.
Well, then no, I'm just kidding. I'm not. But it's a thing called brokophobic too. Like you just shit on everybody. Got to pay rent. You pay rent. You pay rent. I got millions. I got a $1 million watch. Like how you think people in your chat feel? Everybody not rich. Everybody in your chat not rich. Everybody in my chat not rich.
It's just you get to pick and choose your worldviews, right? You get to choose what you like to hit people on and joke about, right? And people get to choose what they like to be joke about or what they can be hit about or not, right? It's just a personal choice. I think it's kind of lame, and I don't like having on my stream things were like some people on my audience feel like if they're gay, they get targeted by that. It's just like a personal choice. You don't have to agree with it, but that's kind of why I withdrew. That's all. So I was just telling you, I don't give a fuck if you guys say it to me. I'm just not gonna stick around if you guys use that language, right? In that way, when I'm around, it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, no, that's just what you want to do. That, which I respect. That, which we're not going to be using that word like that because we don't really use it like in terms of hate or like hate speech or anything like that. But it was just more so. I just want to let you know that me and my friend, because we talked last night, we had a long talk with Train and a whole bunch of other kick people. Like we was using it as in like towards you only, and we thinking you're not gay, so we thinking like, oh, it's not gonna like we just it's just shit talk, like. We all call each other.
Yeah, for sure.
When you say say it's shit talk, what does that mean?
When you talk shit on the game.
Yeah, but like, why is it shit talk?
What do you mean? Why is it shit talk? You never play COD, nigga? I know you play League of Legends. And
Bro,
shit,
you're like 19 years old. Why are you asking for play games? I'm asking you a question for why is it shit talk?
I'm telling you, because it's called when you playing the game, you like to say, "Oh, I shitted on you, you," and then somebody else responds like, "Oh, bitch, fat." Whatever. And
yeah, but why is it? So, for instance, why do you call somebody fat? Why is that an insult? Because nobody wants to be fat. Being fat is ugly, right?
Can you go here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I like being fat.
Sure. So if you call him what's the point? What's the insult? Like, what are you trying to affect there? What's the goal?
That's not the point.
Well, what is the point?
It's the goal is that he decided to kiss a boy, so I made a joke about it because he's not actually gay. If he was actually gay and kissed a boy, then I'll be like, okay, that's not really a joke, but it's a joke because he's not actually gay, so it's gonna hit him. He's like, I did do that, but damn, he got me right there. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't understand how jokes work?
I guess not. I'm not at that level yet.
Then you say hard R and shit, like and nigga and all that. What the fuck?
Yeah, all the time, man. But that's because I'm racist. It's different.
You're racist.
Yes.
Well, I hate crackers.
That's cool. You can be a racist too. We can all be racist together, my friend.
Cracker.
Is that what we're doing?
See, you didn't say it. See, I tested you on purpose. I was saying what you gonna say it. So obviously you're not racist. You're just baiting the chat.
Wait, I have to say the N-word to be racist? There's not other ways I can be racist?
No, because I seen a clip of you saying like, oh, if he gonna call me this, I'm gonna call him that. So I called you this, and you didn't say that. That's I was just testing you. I was just saying what you was gonna say.
Maybe I don't think you're black enough to be racist against.
I'm on EBT, and I stayed in the projects for 10 years.
Only 10 years? Which projects?
And I eat fried chicken, and I drive a Hellcat.
Does it bounce up and down?
Yep.
Does it got spinners?
Yep.
All right.
That's all I was saying, though, bro. That's all I was saying. But it's not nothing that deep. I just want to say, like, because I enjoy doing the COD lobbies, the COD wages and shit. I don't want it to end because of some miscommunication. We not homophobic. I have a gay brother, literally. I just called him on the phone. I have a gay brother. He's 17. So yeah, I just want to say, yeah, it's not nothing that serious. We should just, squash it. If you don't like that word being used, you can set that stamp and we won't use it while you join the call and you're live.
I respect that. I just say that. I see. It's not like I'm not gonna be a bitches about it, right? And I had about a bunch of shit. Like, don't say the R word. Don't say somebody's ugly or fucking bro. Like, bro,
yeah.
It's like that one thing. I don't like when my people are targeted, and I think I don't like it, right? The same way that some people don't agree, but my stance is that when you use this thing in a targeted way, right? If you justify that, it's gonna be hard to justify telling people to stop if they say the N-word, right? Because it's like if you're using a word or a slur to be hateful, right? In that way. And the worst word you can use for somebody that's gay is the F word. I mean, if somebody wants to go against you, I mean, the worst word the word they can use is probably the N word, right? So how can you justify using one and not the other? That's kind of where I'm at on that, but I don't know.
No, I feel that. I don't justify it though. If I say like if I call somebody something and they be like, oh, shut up, I'm like, it depends on the level of like how much you know.
Well, I mean,
you're not gonna say that to a random person.
I mean, not the A one, like the big one.
See, the big one, that's a whole different level though. Like that got history behind it. I
cannot put the F word at the same level of like intent on hatefulness. N word, F word. I cannot hold them up like almost nearly the same. That's where I'm at.
I'm trying to get that, but like I swear to God, I watched the video and a guy went around asking all gay people at a LGBTQ event, He asked them, "Do y'all take the hard F serious?" And majority of the people said like, "Nah, not really. Like it is what it is." But that don't justify anything.
Because
obviously.
some people don't use it like against them. Like probably I'm assuming because a lot of people still have it in their vocabulary, not in a targeted way against gay people, right? But if you do it against people specifically, I mean, that's just hateful conduct. That's kind of how I feel about it. So of course they probably don't care about general usage, but if it's used against them in a hateful way, don't think they like it. At least the majority of them.
Yeah, of course. And the hard R is I mean, I don't think the hard R on the same level of the F word, because the hard R got history behind it. It's ain't like it was some shit going on where like fucking like I ain't even gonna say his name, where like some type of president was just killing like them directly and saying like, "Oh, come here, F word," and it's not history behind that word like that. It's just a word that people made to be mean. The hard R is a word that got slavery behind it, got like hanging on trees and like all this bad stuff behind it. So it's not like the same level. I'll bring it like a little bit tear down from the hard R, but I do get what you're saying.
I do feel that that's like a tough. It's in my opinion, it's just kind of overall like a tough sell when you try to like justify being hateful. That's just kind of how I feel about it. It's like you have to go all the. Do you think people compute history and usage and all that when they use a certain word? No. People say, I want to be, people in their head, they're like, I want to be hateful. What can I say against this person that will make him feel the worst? I will use that word, right? And I think the F word is kind of exactly how it's why people don't remind the R word, because 90% of the time, it's not being used against somebody who has a mental disability. Do we agree with that or not?
Nah, I agree with that completely. I agree with that.
Like if you never use it against gay people and you use the F word, right? Whatever. Right? I can kind of agree that if these are your worldviews, you do your thing. I don't do it, but we do your thing. But if you purposely use it against gay people in that way, you can see why they'd be mad about it. And I think that's like the same type of behavior that you have when somebody uses the N-word with the hard R against black people. The intention to be hateful because of the history behind it, right? And I don't think people compute the history in their usage. It's just hatefulness.
What you're saying, but like that, like I said, like we didn't use it towards a gay person, unless you're. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I think I mean, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but that was kind of the intention. He said, "I saw you kiss a dude," blah 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 blah, F word. That's gonna. I think that was the intended target.
But we know. But like, if we didn't know you, then I understand that. But we know you're not gay, unless that's what I'm saying. Unless you are gay, and then that changes the whole conversation. You get what I'm saying? Like we didn't say it. Like y'all can be like, "Oh yeah, you kissed the guy, haha, you're an F word, ha." No, it's not saying like, "Oh, that's to be hateful towards a gay person," because we actually think you're not gay. But if you are gay and you actually like fucking boys and kissing guys, then that makes it hate speech. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, so at the time, I mean, maybe he wants to not backpedal, or maybe just kind of double down on it. I kind of feel like him prefacing with, "Oh, you kiss dudes, F word."
No, he didn't say that. Like, we didn't say you kiss dudes. We said we said SQC, you kissed the guy, and then you are, and then we didn't even say it all in one sentence. We're like, you kissed the guy. Oh, you F word. No, it's not like that. You're not gay unless you are gay. Like I said, then it's not towards hateful people. It's not hateful. It's not towards gay people directly, because we thinking you're not gay.
But if it was a white person and he was acting weird and you called him like, "Oh, like you're acting like an N-word or something," is that okay as long as he's not actually black?
I mean, you basically saying it when you say thug. I mean, that's just another word.
I didn't say tug.
Okay, you probably did say thug.
I did not say tug. I did not say that. I know who came up with this shit. You look at the clips. I did not say tug.
Did he say tug or not, Chad? Did he say tug?
I did not say tug.
Everybody's saying you did say it.
Good. Just look at the clip. I did not say tug.
Well, I mean, somebody post a clip. I'm
telling you. People are saying that he said gangster, so maybe when you heard gangster, you assumed
I said you are not gangster. People were acting tough. I said you are not a gangster. You're not on the streets, bro. You're in an online lobby.
Okay, so if you kissing a guy, I could be like, all right, you're not an F word. So stop acting like it. You're not an F word. That's weird. Stop kissing guys and stuff because you're not an F word.
Well, a gay person isn't an F word unless you mean that hatefully, which the word in this usage is being hateful. That's just how that goes. Like, what? Am I crazy here? Like, what? You're equating gay person equals F word. So
Or
you
also,
saying you're
somebody
not
said,
that-
wait,
That's
and
not
somebody
what I'm
saying, and
saying.
somebody's saying it's not just saying that like, oh, you kissed a guy. Somebody said you literally said go suck a dick, which sounds like a little bit more targeted and pointed.
What you mean? Like I was talking to him, we was shit talking. Like he was saying the thug shit, and then I said, "All right, go
I
suck a
didn't
dick."
say
And then,
tug. I didn't say that. I know what I said. I did not say tug.
Well, yeah. Well, I just know that that's that. I just wanted to let you know, like, because it was stuff coming out. Like I don't know, you was like implying it to your chat and like to your community that like we're like homophobic, which I'm just saying like we're not homophobic. We're just talking to you directly.
And I get that. How do I word this properly?
I said it, nigga. They're all NPCs, and I'm every shot, nigga. But can I say that in front of you?
I mean, bro, that's what you want.
It's like
Yeah. He's not.
if it was just
Who
me
is
and
this?
you,
Why am I
right?
even?
Since
Why
I'm
am I
not
even looking
gay,
at this? Who the?
and
Why are you
we're,
linking
like,
me this?
Me and you only in the room. I'd be like, whatever. Like I was like crying but getting mad about it, right? But I do know over the years that with the community I have, it's like it's not something I want to have around, and it's not a behavior I want to tolerate or whatever. Because I don't think
He's
people
one of
should be
their
fucking
friends
hearing
in
that
their circle.
and continue to fucking, like whatever hurt that they have to continue on my stream. I just don't want to have that. It's just that one word. It's not even that big of a deal. So like,
Yeah, I get it.
I don't know how to accept an apology on somebody else's behalf. But like, I appreciate you guys care. But the way you're wording it, it seems like nobody understands it. If you're
I
like,
get what you're saying. You
nobody
said you don't
gets-
want
nobody
that
gets
word. You don't want that word around you or on your stream. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I understand that. Like, which I said, like, we all had a talk last night. You know, if I don't want the Kai lobbies to ruin off that. So obviously, like, if you say, okay, well, you basically just said it. You said, okay, I don't like that word being said on my channel, or like people that watches me for me to hear that word. We understand that part. Which I said, if we were to play COD Wages and stuff, obviously we want to be like spamming that word or like, oh, F, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, okay, that's SQC standard. That's what he want, you know?
And I wouldn't have left if it was just flying F word. Like, I think, dude, like, that's kind of cooked. But like, if it wasn't like, if you guys didn't put the sub behind it, like oh, blah, 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 like, suck a dick or whatever the fuck, that's kind of like where it kind of goes overboard, because it feels like it's a bullet that's like meant for that. Even though it doesn't hit me, it's other people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, yeah, I know what you're saying. Like,
That's it.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And do you even agree with me on like the equivalency of like wanting to be hateful and like the use of the N word? Because I understand that F word and N word are like two different tiers, but I think hatefulness is just one tier, and it's like it's just a one word. That's how I equate it.
No, hatefulness
still here?
I mean, I feel like the conversation is kind of looping. I feel like when you start bringing in stuff from outside of the game, you're talking about something like different than when you're insulting based on in the game. Like I think that it's like it's a substantially different conversation or substantively different conversation. But I don't think everybody in this call agrees with that. So I don't know.
Okay, agrees with what?
Like if you're bringing in stuff from outside of the game to like attack somebody on, then obviously it's a bit more personal. So then you're going to start looking at that a lot differently than what you would attack people for based on what they've said in the game.
So where I draw the line is that if you know or you don't know, you're just shooting random bullets. Usually it's kind of fine. That's why a lot of times people don't understand, like, oh, dude, don't call people broke. A lot of times like it.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. Hold on, that's your
person.
perspective. His perspective is that like, well, as long as you're not the actual thing that he's insulting you for, then it's not that big of a deal. That's his perspective. That like, well, it's not really. I can't be homophobic against you if you're not gay. Like, so whatever.
It's intention based. That's how I see it.
But even for intent, it's not just intention. It's a difference in application, because he'll say that even if the intention, he'll say that the intention is determined by knowing whether or not you're actually gay, because he's saying that if he knew you were gay, he wouldn't say the word, right? So he's saying that he would change it based on the intention, right?
Well, I feel like intention is drawn when you put the pretext behind it. That's why I was saying it. With the preface of like, oh, dude, I see the clip. I whatever, like you're kissing dudes. I think the intent is drawn there. Like, am I delusional here or like?
No, what are you talking about? So is it intention of the word? Because
Who the
clearly,
fuck is joined, cut?
Clearly, Cuffem does not hate gay people. So is it the word or the intention?
Why do we say clear? There's nothing clear about that. How do we know that?
He just said he doesn't hate gay people.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait, if somebody says they don't hate gay people, that means they don't hate gay people? Since when has that ever been the standard by which we determine somebody's like feelings?
This is the grand finale 2024 cuck-off.
Yeah. Well, I'm asking you, SQC. So is it the intention or is it the word? Because where do you draw the line?
I think I try to be reasonable about the intention based on what I have in front of me. If I do feel like because intention is impossible to to prove, right? And that is not a court of law, but it's like if you have a general feel it's what the target was, I don't want my community to hear it. I won't be there for it.
Why do you draw the line for the word with your community, but you can call your fans broke? You could say you want to kill Cheezer. You could say thug. So why did you draw the line there?
That is true.
So okay. So I don't agree with the Cheezer thing. I think that was kind of out of pocket. But the other thing, I think one is because is it something that this is like more of a worldview thing, right? Is it something that you can change, right? It isn't that people agree that you shouldn't hit somebody on it. Is it like a protected class? Are broke people or let's say as an insult even if you don't know the person's broke or not, right? Is that like a marginalized group in that way?
Okay, so you can change being a like you can stop doing that, right? You can't when you call Cuffem a thug, he can't change his skin color. He's always going to be black.
Wait, okay, hold on. Wait, nothing about thug. Wait,
so
okay, two things.
many
Two things.
assumptions are being made.
Couple things. Wait.
What?
So it's not. So we're using protected class and everything, but usually it's a proxy for like these things probably shouldn't be bad things. So if you make fun of somebody for being broke, right? Usually it's because being broke is a bad thing. Nobody wants to be broke. Broke people don't want to be broke. If you make fun of somebody for being fat, well, nobody wants to be fat. Like even fat people don't want to be fat. If you make somebody for being gay, well, the implication is that like being gay must be bad, the same way that being fat or being broke is.
The reason that get offended when you say that word is because they don't actually want to be
No,
That's
the
why
reason they
he's
get
censoring
offended
that
is
word.
because they think that other people are loading that word in a really negative way and they're being hateful with it.
No, it comes from a deep-rooted shame that they're never going to be accepted for who they are.
Really?
That's not the
Is that
reason,
so?
yeah.
Wait, is that why Muslims are the
being-
most? Wait, is that why Muslims are the most fragile people on the internet? Then, is because when you make fun of their religion, they get so ass mad about it that they come out and they attack literally every person they see, even if it means beheading people in a comic book shop. Like,
Well, that's not true because you're still walking around and you've made fun of Islam. If that were true,
that's because
you
I
would
live in
not
the
be-
United
you
States of
wouldn't be here.
America. Thank God. But no, so I'm asking you. So then, would you say every time a Muslim lashes out at somebody because you make fun of their religion, is that because they have a deep-seated shame about it?
No, I'm saying that the reason that XQC draws a line there, it's not because of this morality thing, because nobody wants to be fat, nobody wants to be broke.
Nobody wants to be a Muslim. Why do they get so offended when you make fun of them for it?
That's not. That's has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Like
That's
people don't
exactly.
get
You said
offended-
that people get offended for being gay because they're ashamed to be gay. So I'm
That's
asking
the-
you, then,
okay,
do
you
people
see
get
it-
offended by being called
Let me
Muslim because they're
explain
Muslims?
the way
Are they
he
ashamed of
debates
being
there.
Muslims?
The way he debates Cuffem is he's going to equate being Muslim to being gay. Nobody gets offended if a blue-haired Destiny calls me a Muslim. Nobody's offended, right? If I call somebody gay and you're not gay, they'll get offended because nobody wants to be gay.
They're not offended. They don't want to be around people that are hateful. They're upset because you're being hateful towards them. The same way that Muslims get offended when you talk about their religion in a negative way.
Also, I think that they have kind of the right to be upset, right? To be kind of shit on for something that they can't change, right?
No. It doesn't have to.
Especially
No, it doesn't have to do.
that's-
No, it doesn't have to do with
Go
can't
ahead.
change or can change. Like there are, for instance, you can change your nationality. It doesn't necessarily mean you should attack somebody over their nationality. You can change like, the country you're living in or whatever. It's a
Well, that's gonna how that's like my view on it. It's like I don't think it's a good thing that you go around just being who you are and getting clapped on all the fucking time for it. I think
Sure, it can feel bad, but I mean, like insults are supposed to feel bad. But the question
of course.
question is like, what do you want to make somebody feel bad for, right? If it's a bad characteristic, so if you think somebody's generally bad because they're like a Nazi or a tanky or a brokey or they're fat or whatever, those are all like bad characteristics. Then you can say like, oh well, fuck it, yeah, you can make fun of people for these things. If you're making fun of somebody for being gay, the implication is you think that being gay is like a negative, bad characteristic, and that's why you're being bad for it. That's why the person that came in here.
Here's the next issue: is that thinking that being gay is bad doesn't mean you hate gays, right? Being fat is bad, I don't hate fat people. It's gross. Like
That
thinking
is-
something is gross, thinking being broke is gross or bad does not. I don't hate broke people. There's no rich people don't hate broke people. Just like straight people don't hate gays. It's just weird and disgusting. You're allowed to be disgusted by something and not hate it.
That's fine, but it's literally in the language you're using. If you're expressing publicly that you think something is gross and disgusting, the idea is you're being hateful towards it. You can play word games like, well, it doesn't mean you hate it, but I mean, like it's essentially what's being expressed.
I mean, I like to use extremes to really draw the picture, right? If you really think about it, what if you say, "Oh, I'm disgusted by a certain skin color"? I mean, it's gonna come off pretty hateful. Do you not agree?
Yeah, of course.
What? But you can't change your skin color. You can change, like you can just stop. You can stop kissing boys.
So now
you can't change being black.
Whoa, hold on. Sexual orientation and the manifestation of that sexuality are two different things entirely.
Right? No, but being gay is a choice. That's a decision.
Is that your worldview on it?
That's just the truth. You choose to kiss.
Is that your worldview or not? You just say how it is.
He doesn't believe it's real because he's on some retarded shit. It's not worth arguing over.
That's just the objective truth. No, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, but
you can't. There's no place in the world where it's been like discovered how to change somebody's sexuality like that. It just doesn't happen. So no, you have no foundation for saying that.
You want to know how to not do that? Is just don't kiss a guy as a man.
Yeah, but then so what? Do you just not have relationships? Do you just not have relationships anymore, or?
No, you could have a relationship, but with the correct sex.
Yeah, but if you don't have any sexual attraction towards them, why would you do that?
That's the wrong feeling. That's just an incorrect.
When you say the wrong feeling, what? According to who?
According to the world. The same reason you tell pedophile that they should stop being attracted to kids. It's like you should have a morality about
Hold on.
that.
Why do you think pedophilia is wrong?
Because you cannot.
No. Answer. It's a good question.
Yeah, I need to make sure you have any idea. Tell me. No, wait. Make him answer. Yeah, don't bail him out. Make him answer. Why is pedophilia wrong, Sneako? Yeah.
Because it's not how a relationship. Because God says it's wrong.
That's the reason why. Hold on. Wait. So Sneako. No. Wait. This is so easy. So then Sneako. So if God tells you that you can kids like he did with Muhammad or whatever, you think that's okay then? That you would change your mind on that tomorrow?
That's not what happened.
No. I'm asking you. If God tells you, Sneako, I think that kids is okay, then you would change your mind on it tomorrow.
There has to be a justification for everything.
Oh, hold on. God has to justify himself? God has to justify it? If you're talking about the need for a justification, then that means something's not good because God says it. It's only good because he's giving you whatever the justification is. So God saying things doesn't mean anything then. So you're just wrong on that. So then what's the justification then for why pedophilia is bad?
Because it's not, kids cannot consent.
There you go. Good job. Yep, you got there. Good job. So
and
homosexuality.
Also, don't good job me. It goes down to what we see from God. If God created
it doesn't.
Genders,
no, because you don't see God, so it doesn't matter.
There's no purpose. There's no purpose for a man to.
Listen, that's Sneako. If you need a book to tell you not to kids, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, but most people can figure out why it's wrong on their own, and you got to the answer in the end, which is good.
Maybe you need
which
that
is
book.
good. Which is good. Which is good.
The fact that you answered that question, maybe you need that.
No,
book.
because you compared. You compared homosexuality to
Wait,
make him answer this question. No, hold on. Why is it then that homosexuality, which can be practiced between two consenting adults, why should that be a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing. It's just not right. There's no purpose that it's serving. What are you doing that for?
The purpose it's serving is two people that love each other, might want to be in a relationship and build a household and do that together. That might be something they want to do.
It doesn't serve a greater purpose.
Every single thing in your life has to serve a greater purpose?
Exactly.
Oh. It was a question. You didn't answer it. It was a question. Yeah, he asked you a question.
Well, he said, yeah, I guess everything in your life has to serve.
I said everything has to fulfill a greater purpose. Why would you do anything for no reason?
Sneako, you bring the book a lot and whatever you read a lot, you reference that a lot into what's good and wrong, but I don't think that the fucking book told you to fucking set the red rock and fucking gamble. I think that's like usually called the haram order. I don't think people think you should do that in that book. Does it? So why'd you do it then?
Gambling is a sin.
So why'd you do it then?
Because no Muslim is perfect. Like that's okay. Weird...
So you pick and choose, and then you choose how wrong you're going to be, and then you dictate what people should be doing based on that same book. Then
no, and then we should strive to be perfect, right? So that was an example of me sinning, and I don't publicize those sins because I know that we have an audience, and it's important that we do the right thing.
So you only publicize, but you don't uphold those values yourself. That's kind of.
No,
that's grifting. That's grifting.
It's not grifting. It's taking responsibility to promote the right things, right?
No, that's grifting. That's grifting.
I don't think you know what that word means, XQC. The difference between me and you is that I'll sin. Like, there's a lot of things that I don't publicize, but you profit off of it. Like, you make a lot of money. You make millions of dollars selling sin, and I don't. And we should take the responsibility to not do these things. Do I sin every day? Of course. I listen to
because
music.
I don't see life as a sin or not. I make profit on my life. Off my lifestyle, not off the sin, off my lifestyle. I just do my thing. It is not guided by some book or some scroll or some writing in the sky. It's just what I want to be doing.
So how do you know what's right and wrong if you don't get it from God?
Is that a real question or is that like a troll?
That's a real question. How do you so you decide what's right and wrong? How do you know what's good?
Just overall, just morality, values, just overall worldviews, just generally what I know about society and history, and I try to have a good understanding.
Society. So where does it come from? Because there's been a lot of people that have been
history. I just told you, you're not listening. History, yeah.
History. So which historians are good? Which ones are bad?
Wait a minute, which ones are bad? Which ones?
I'm asking you. You're saying that's where you get it from. How do you know who's good and who's bad in history?
Dude, I try to navigate the world with what I know overall. And I get to them as much as I can with what was taught to me, what the schools tell me, what society. And I try to go above and beyond to learn more about the world.
From school?
For all the elements that I can. If you think only your morality from some book that was written a long time ago, I mean, you're bound to be maybe outdated on some of it. No,
absolutely not. I mean, God.
Okay.
Never,
I mean,
that's not outdated.
That is your worldview, and I respect it.
And then we update it, and like, let's be real.
It's updated. What version is that?
I said you update it. I said you updated it.
Did it patch already? Yo, what patch are we on now?
I said you updated it, and that's the reason why you're drawing the line.
No, I did not update anything. I don't abide by it.
Okay, so but you didn't give me an answer to where you get your morality from. So you're saying
I told you from the information I haven't given, navigating the world. That's it.
Right.
As much as I can from a lot of places.
Correct. So it's always updating. So it's always updating and it's always changing.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, it's always updating. Yes.
Okay. So it's in a constant software update.
Because the man, I like some of you guys that like to use the word man and male. Because I think overall, mankind strives to be better. Once we know more, we can change things. Sometimes textbooks are wrong, like science, and they have to fix it. They know more, they improve. I try to adapt and add new parts of the machine that have a stronger machine. It's what I do. It's what I think people should try to do.
So your morality could be different tomorrow than it is today?
Absolutely, 100%. Because there are things that we don't know yet about human cognition, psychology, just social behaviors. Something we just don't know some things, and we have to adapt to new information.
Also, literally, Evan, even religions literally do this, okay? Like, even religions update their standards for how they exist and how they are spread amongst their people and how their nations are ran over time. Like, Islam's done this, Christianity's done this, Catholicism.
No, Islam has not done that. That's not true. And Christianity has been adapted, but that's besides the point.
What do you mean Islam hasn't done this? You don't think that Islam or Islamic states haven't changed the way, for instance, that they approach, like, dhimmi? Like, the way that they have, like, other religious groups that live in their countries? Like, there are tons of...
You're changing morality to politics, and that's not what I'm talking about.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Wait. Shut the That's not politics at all. What do you mean? Of course, that's morality. There should be
Muslim states. You said Muslim countries. I'm talking about the book.
I'm sorry. What do you think Muslim state means that's not involved in religion? What do you think a caliphate is? Who do you think Muhammad was? What the f are you talking about?
Okay, you're shifting the goalposts. This is not. Like,
hold on. I'm sorry. Wait. I just need to hear you say this. Do you think that politics and Islam are completely dissociated from one another? They don't have anything to do with each other?
Right. You saying that it's changing, that's sort of an example of politics changing the religion. That's not to the core. And that's besides the point.
How is that besides the point? I'm sorry, hold on. I need to hear you say this. Do you think that the political system, Islamic theocracy, you don't think that has anything to do with Islam, the religion? Do you think those are two totally separate things?
Genuinely, I don't really care about what you're saying about Islam.
I know, because you have no idea. But okay, if you don't have any idea what the you're talking about, why are you roasting him on not knowing where all of his morals come from? You don't even know about the own religion that you grift on. Like, Jesus, who cares?
I'm asking questions to XQC. Okay?
You're not. You're trying to grill him because he doesn't have an answer to the ultimate source of morality. And you don't even understand your own source of morality. It's a retarded conversation. You're just trying to, like, go for gotchas here so you can clip it up on your Rumble channel later.
I'm not clipping up anything. I'm not streaming right now. I wanted to talk about the word faggot, and then you started, like, yapping over him to save him. Right?
Nobody's yapping over anybody. I started asking you questions because you compared homosexuality to pedophilia because you didn't know why fucking kids was wrong.
I just told you why. Okay. XQC,
you stumbled into the answer eventually. Congratulations.
Why the word for example, why do you the reason that you draw the line there is because of the always updating morality that we have, right?
That's not what I said. No, it doesn't have to do with it.
That's why within your community you draw the line at this word because Twitch tells you that this is the word. You don't want to insult.
He's not even engaging. He didn't give Twitchers an answer for anything.
I'm explaining something. It's not his answer.
You're not. You're talking about the Matrix.
What are you talking about?
Are we streaming on Twitch right now?
I'm on Kick. I didn't even go to Twitch today.
He has fostered a community, a Twitch community that tells him.
If you want to know what it is, I don't mind leaking my shit. My contract has no morality clauses. What that means is that I don't have to abide by some morality standard of Amazon or anything to keep my contract at kicked. They don't give a shit. I can tell you anything I want to, and I'd still be fine about it. And it wouldn't cancel my shit. I don't give a pussy. Like, I don't. It's not why I do it. I don't want to do it. It's that simple. And I have a few set of things on why I do it or not. And the only thing you can reference is some fucking book written like 9 million years ago, dude. Like, I don't give a I don't abide by that. I don't abide by that. I respect that you do, but I don't.
Okay, but why do you think that you stopped there at this word? It's because being on Twitter, I'm not saying that you have a contract for it, but being on this website so long with people that run it that also don't believe in God, they follow your morality system where it's always updating and it's always changing.
It has to.
No, then we start tolerating crazy things, right? If it always updates and changes, we don't know where we draw the line.
If we never updated our morality, like Disney said, people would be kids now and it would be accepted. We had to understand why it's bad, right? And have core fundamentals and really get why is this bad, and then apply that in real time. That's an update. That is an update. It's how that works. We understand why something is bad through whatever in psychology, cognition, logic, whatever, and then we apply that. Otherwise, you stop being better. Like, why is the concept of being a better person and going so foreign to you? Do you not want to be better?
Here's an easy question. Listen, okay, so should we update or not? What do you think the age of consent should be, Sneako?
Yeah, this is not an important conversation.
No, it's a super important. You don't think f***ing kids are not as an important conversation? What do you think the age of consent should be? If you want to be consistent, you don't think anything updates, just tell us what you think it should be.
I think it should be past at a developed age.
What is a developed age? If you had to set a law for it, what would you set it? What would you set it about?
Oh God!
I'd say it's a developed age.
No, answer the question, you fucking pussy. Holy shit, you're such a cowardly fuck. Stand up for what you believe in. If you actually are Muslim, you're actually Islamic or whatever, then stand up for your beliefs. Every other Muslim scholar online will do this. Do it. Stand tall on it. Don't act like a little pussy in here trying to grill XQC on modern meta ethics or whatever. If you won't even answer basic questions about your worldview, what should the age of consent be?
Do you see how
you want to answer the question? You see how he's going to yap and not answer the question? I'm going to ask the same thing when you're done. Go ahead.
I just answered the question. I just told you.
What was the age?
I just told you at a developed age.
Sneako thinks you should be able to f 9-year-olds. That's what Sneako thinks, and he won't answer that question honestly. Or he's going to have to give a different answer, in which case he's updated his morality. He's updated his views, and that's really uncomfortable for him. You don't have an answer to any of this shit, bro. Go back to that corner in London where you're getting roasted by year 1 debaters on Christianity. This is retarded. I don't know what the f you're doing in here.
Okay, so you can leave the call. I wanted to go talk about this.
I don't want to leave the call. I like hanging out here. I've talked to a lot of files in the past, so.
Okay.
Okay, Sneako, I'm actually curious now. What do you think the age of development is?
I just told you. It depends on where you are. It depends on the world.
Then at what stage do you think somebody is developed in? What stage of development? There's a lot of stages in development.
It varies. I don't think
it varies. It varies on the what?
I think it varies on the age.
It varies on the age.
It depends on where you are.
You need to have set ages for that. There are stages of development. As a child, an adolescent, an adult, and then fully developed. Like, is it the brain? Is it the body? Is it cognition? What parts of development is it? Can you target that?
I don't spend too much time thinking about that.
Okay, so if a man fucked a 12-year-old and he was like, well, this person was like really developed, would that be okay then? You wouldn't call that person a pedophile?
No, that's wrong. Absolutely.
Why is that wrong?
I just said that you're not supposed to do relationships with people, but look.
Well, you can't do relationships?
You can't do relationships with children. I said that.
Wait, what is a child though? But what if they say they were developed?
Developed is 18 plus, bro. Like, come on now.
Ooh, do you co-sign that, Sneako? Is that what developed means? 18 plus?
Well, people believe that, but throughout a lot of states, a lot of it's like 17, a lot of it's 16.
Oh, so you think 16, 17, that's the ethical age to start f***ing or marrying people?
I don't follow, but see, I don't follow the legal morality that you guys are following.
So I'm asking you for the Sharia. I'm asking you for the Sharia morality. What's the religious one? What do you think is the morality there?
It says developed. It's not a specific age.
So if the pedophile or if a guy wants to f 12-year-old, if he feels like they're developed, then you're saying it should be okay in terms of religion, right? In terms of at least ethics or morality, right?
No, in the Quran, it does not specify. It doesn't have an age. Like, you're going to go in circles about this forever?
I'm just curious why it's so hard to get you to give an age for when you think is an acceptable time to f somebody.
I answered the same question 4 times.
You haven't given it. Developed isn't an age. It's not a number.
Nico, I think he's trying to make an understanding of how you apply it in the real world. How do you apply that knowledge or that piece of that phrase you're using, developed age, into the real world? How does somebody navigate that? Somebody who read the same book that you did, had your information. How do they navigate the world? How do they do it?
It's hard to understand you. How does someone navigate the world without a book?
No. You're missing the point. How, if you or you use that phrase, developed, right? As a concept, if somebody knows this and they intake that, how do they apply that to the real world? How is they supposed to know? That's just sort of specifics behind it, right?
What is your question? How do you apply the Quran to the real world?
Yes, if the book says that phrase, developed, right? Somebody, when they go into the real world, how do they apply that? How do they use that to know what to do? It's a simple question. Please answer it.
It's pretty easy to tell if somebody's a developed human or not.
So that you trust every human that has read the book to know what's development and know how to use that, and you trust that people will do that responsibly. Yes.
Well, this is also the value of having a community of people around you who are on the same sort.
Also, if you do it, so if you say, oh, my bad, I thought it was developed. They were only 13. Let's say you said that the community should now. I say, oh, you should have done that, and that's good course correction.
Right. If there's people around that are educated, you have sheikhs and you have other people within the
community. So after the mistake, so after you've done wrong, they go, hey, yo, dude, you probably shouldn't have done that, bro.
No, if they're following the faith, then they're going to have the right intentions and they're going to ask people, and it's going to be pretty obvious.
So they have to wait for faith to come down on earth. And
I'm saying it's the value of having a community that's on the same page about things. The same, and you know that. Yeah, that's why you establish rules within your community.
The community is supposed to come in and tell you what to do and when not to do it, or if that's how you use, if that's the number you use to navigate the world.
You guys keep trying to make it seem like it's as concrete.
I'm not trying to make it is. It has to be concrete. That's how the world works, legally and morally. You have to. Yes, you have to know.
No, that's actually, you just contradicted yourself. If you have to know,
no, I didn't.
You said your morality always changes and updates.
Exactly. Because if you don't know something, then you'll know more later. But you cannot say, oh, dude, I didn't know because my community didn't tell me. Like, it's just a stupid way to navigate the world. Like, what? You don't have to, you don't have to fucking make the jump to see if the hole will kill you. So other people might have seen it, will tell you ahead of time. Do you have to jump? No, you don't. But you're saying, yes, but it's a community. Brother, what are you talking about?
I'm not. It's hard to understand.
How? I asked you a simple question. You failed to answer like 10 times. If the only thing that somebody knows is what you know, is what the book says, that one phrase, when they're developed, how can they use this knowledge and then operate in the real world and use this information to not be a deviant or a weirdo? How can they do that?
The same reason that we know intrinsically when you look at somebody, if they're a man.
Not a good answer. The format of your answer sucks.
I didn't finish making my answer.
The format sucks though. The same way. I don't know what the same way that is. Just give me the answer.
I'm giving you the answer.
Okay, go ahead. I'll let you do your answer then. Go ahead. Do your thing.
The same way throughout history, it's always been known. You could tell when you look at somebody if somebody is a man or somebody's a woman. It's the same thing when you can look at somebody and you know if they're an adult or they're a child.
Okay,
it's only within. Let me answer. It's only when the updated morality that you're following that now these simple things of biology that we've all understood throughout human existence, now it's changed.
It's like every NPC talking point. Are you going to roll climate change into this next?
Give me it.
Jesus Christ.
What does climate change have to do with
So you can tell.
What the do trans people have to do with any of the conversation?
Did you not get the point? Do I have to explain it again?
No. It's not that if you can only biology. An analogy is or a metaphor is something that you use to further illustrate a point. It's not something you use in substitution of an actual answer. You don't have an answer, and all you have are analogies or metaphors. It means you don't understand what you're talking about, and you're just trying to preach to the audience on some hot button issues or whatever.
Nobody's preaching. These things have all been understood forever, and then now they're becoming complicated because we have updated morality.
Yeah, because people have different interpretations of things all the time. Why do you think there's a Sunni-Shia divide in Islam? Why do you think that there are differences in theocratic rule or law or regulations amongst even different Sunni states that all ostensibly agree on the same religion? Like even
those
Islam
small differences, but that's not worth focusing on the small differences of these different sects of religion. Where like now, if in the West we have your point of view, like the blue hair, whatever. I don't believe in anything. We don't even know what's a man and what's a woman. Those are biological, visual differences. You're telling me that I don't know based on my eyes what the truth is.
That's great.
Talking about
Listen,
the differences of sects of religion.
Yeah, that's
you cannot
great.
compare that.
Yeah, and I know, and I understand that in your life, like trans issues are like the most important fucking thing in the world to talk about. That's fine. You might not be able to know the difference between a man and a woman in the West or whatever, but depending on how things continue to go in the Middle East, you might not know the difference between a thriving nation state and a nuclear waste pile if these people all start nuking each other? How can you say that the differences over there are minor when two Islamic states, fucking Iran and Saudi Arabia, are literally like firing missiles and shit at each other historically? Like, how can you say the differences are minor there and then focus on trans people in the United States and make it like 0.1% of the population?
I'm not focusing on this. I'm talking about his point of view of changing what we know,
You
changing
have
simple truths.
to.
Of changing simple truths. Like,
Bro,
you keep
bro.
just when you say that I'm making bot talking points about talking about climate change, and then you bring in Iran and Saudi Arabia. Like, hey, does anyone else hear this?
Yeah, hold
Why
on.
did you not-
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me speak a little bit slower, okay? Maybe you're not following anymore, okay? You seem to make the claim that things are changing in the West and they're not as good as your static, unchanging holy book. And what I'm saying is multiple countries that all ostensibly are theocratic regimes that are following a religion all seem to have pretty interpretations of parts of that book and are even like warring with each other, like trying to blow each other up. So the idea that change leads to bad things, but Islam, this one religion, is this like crazy, good, amazing
you made
thing.
the same dumb argument earlier. You cannot equate politics and a government to a book.
You got it, bro. What are you talking about when you say you can't equate politics and Islam, Sneako? Do you know how fucking retarded that state? What do you think a theocracy is?
You cannot equate the way that men make mistakes within government and politics to a holy book that's perfect. The same reason that XQC brings up me gambling at Red Rock and says, oh, look, you're not a perfect person. Nobody is ever assuming that a person can be perfect. We make mistakes and we make sins, but we need to have a perfect conception of morality. And there's only one thing that we can go to, and that's the word of God.
Yeah, but people don't even agree on what that word is. They don't even agree on in Islam what that even means. And I don't know why you keep trying to separate the politics from the religion when Islam is a political religion.
Yes, Sped. The difference is...
Why do you keep calling me Sped when you don't understand the foundational aspects of what you
Because
believe
you're
in?
focusing on minor differences. The reason that I bring up the issue of people not knowing the genders or him not censoring the word community is because people are lying about obvious truths.
Oh, okay. So things like different interpretations of how your Islamic government, theocratic government looks, that's a minor difference. But whether or not you call people or whether or not you acknowledge trans people, those are huge differences in society. Seriously?
No, the theological differences that separates the sex of religion is different than people not even knowing what they're looking at and saying, I have no idea what this
Sneako, you don't even know what the age of consent could be. I don't know how the f- can criticize somebody else for not knowing some other basic fact of the world. None of us have a problem saying 16, 17, 18, whatever f***ing years old.
You said that I was trying to get a gotcha earlier, and then this is exactly what you're trying to do here. You want to get the clip with this question.
I'm not getting a clip or a gotcha. I'm pointing out that, Sneako, your Western poison brain is like, you know what? Fucking 9-year-olds is probably not good. Yeah, it probably should be a lot higher than that.
No, that's absolutely not what I said. But you said I was trying to do a setup, and that's why you're defending your Twitch partner over here. But
my Twitch partner, yes, because Twitch is so important to me. The platform I'm banned on right now. Yeah, keep coping, dude. Keep coping. Nobody can really believe different things than me unless they're bought and paid for by somebody else. Mr. Grifts to a fucking audience of Muslims that doesn't know who fucking Muhammad was. Okay, dude.
Absolutely not. I have mostly Christians and atheists that watch my streams, but they like that I have some sort of actual morale. I don't just change, and I don't think that there's a million genders, and I can't even agree about specific truths.
Have some sort of actual morality? What, that's lasted for what, 16 months, 17 months? Okay, leaf in the wind.
Sure. Great. I came in here and I was talking actually, and you said I was trying to get a gotcha question, but the truth is, like, even the world can't agree about the age of consent. So you trying to pin that on me is stupid.
The world has a pretty rough range. It's like between like 16 and 18, Sneako.
Actually, no, it doesn't. It's some places it's 13. In some places in Africa, they don't have one.
Oh, really? And what kind of places? What kind of places is that age of consent a lot lower?
I don't want to tell you because you're going to go there, but it changes all over the world.
Oh, yeah? You've probably been to more of those places than I have, but okay, Chief.
No, I haven't been to Africa.
Never?
I went to Morocco one time.
Oh, okay. Guess that doesn't count as Africa now.
I feel like you would kind of do much better in these debates or whatever with Destiny if you had just like your simple things just ironed out.
Yeah, no, but I didn't. I wanted to hear and talk to you about this word and why you choose to you draw the line there. Like, I don't like Destiny comes in here.
I've said it already. I said it already. It's not some belief or some whatever. It's a simple concept that some people feel a certain way in my community, right? And I want them to feel fucking harm and have a bad day because of some random guy that I barely know comes in and is hateful. I'm no, and it's that simple. And that's where I draw my line, bro. It doesn't do it in my book or some shit.
Great. So you draw the line there, and Jacob, I want you to hear this nonsense. Why do you draw the line at but not poor? Because calling people broke, that hurts people's feelings. So why is where you draw the line?
Okay. You need to understand it. This is just my worldview, regardless.
Why?
Even it could be fat, it could be ugly, it could be tall, short.
What led you to that?
It's just my worldview. It's how I view the world, dude.
Why?
Because I think it's a marginalized group, right? And I've seen like the hurt that people cause each other with that shit, and I don't want to feel that when they watch my stream. I don't want to platform that. It's that simple. I don't want them to be hurt by it, and it stops right there.
All right, Cuffem, that's a good question. Why do you care about the marginalized group of but you don't care about the marginalized group of black people?
See, now you're using it hatefully because now you're saying F word as a. What you say?
You're just going too far now, Sneako.
I didn't mean to cause us whatever. SQC, we understood that. I said we playing COD, whatever. We won't use the word, I just want to make sure we were straight on that. I ain't mean to cause this havoc, whatever.
Yeah, but this is a ball game though. He literally says it about the F words, like actual, like he's just calling them that, and he knows exactly what he's doing by doing that. That's just
okay. Fine.
Flat out hateful.
Why gays and not blacks? Why do you care about one marginalized group?
Wait, hold on. Wait. Does XQC use racial slurs about black people? Did I miss this?
He called him a thug.
In response to things he was saying. Also, first, he didn't call him a thug, but it was in response to things he was saying. It wasn't in response to his skin color.
Okay, so why broke? Why these other? Why say kill cheeser? Why like saying kill cheeser? That's hateful. Saying you want to hurt somebody, murder him. That's pretty hateful.
That is a meme that he has seen. His community does that. They say that it's something that they agree on. And if he was as discomfort with that particular meme or joke, he would have told me so. You understand how that works?
Right, just like how in Adin community and Cuffem community saying it is a meme as well.
I think there's a general understanding, right, that I thought was ironed out when I said yo, and a bunch of times I thought they knew that hey yo, it is maybe like above and beyond the acceptable line, and usually I think this person doesn't welcome that. Holy, it takes some massive logic here, some crazy. Oh, you have to be so smart to get that. Like you're being obtuse. Like I get it, brother. It is what it is.
I'm being obtuse. I've never heard somebody use that word. I'm just asking you why.
Yes, you are being deliberately obtuse. It means that
I'm being obtuse. Like, maybe I could consider that an insult. Why is it just that word? I'm actually curious. I'm not trying to be obtuse.
It's the line that I draw, right? The same way, right?
And you're not answering the question. Why? Why are you drawing a line around?
I told you already. Marginalized group that I care about, and I don't want them to sit down and watch my stream and be hurt by it. That's it. Nothing else.
So why just that marginalized group?
And also races, and I try my best with like religion and other shit. I try. These are my world that I chose. It's where I draw the line. You don't have to agree with it, right? You don't have to. It's not up to a debate. Like. Nothing you can say will say, oh yeah, then you know what? You're right. Guys, say the F word. I'm not gonna do that. Like it's not gonna. Who are you trying to convince here, brother? Because of your book? Because of your book? I don't read books. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, no. I get what you saying on your community, XCC, and yeah, we, you know what I'm saying. So that was the main point, was what happened in the COD lobby. I understand you said you don't want that word to be heard around your community, so I understand that. You know what I'm saying? I respect that, and that's just what it is, bro.
I respect that, and that actually means a lot more than you think of it.
Yeah, so we got to go understand it, because I like playing. I like playing COD lobbies. We got like a little COD lobby going on me, train. You know, your friends, my friends. You know, it's fire. You know, I don't want to end it. So, you know what I'm saying? We straight.
Fat W. I don't want to the discussion get sour when you pass that point because if Sneako was here, he's muddying the waters with his dumb narrative. The brother cannot have two brain cells rubbed together to get a fucking full sentence or cohesive thought. Dumb fuck.
Yeah,
well, me?
Bro is like my brother Sneako is his brain is just sparking, trying to come up with like a reasonable.
It's sparking because I can't hear you saying tug or thug. I can't even understand what's coming out.
Oh my god, here it comes.
You stumble and mumble over your words. It's hard to comprehend what you're saying. No, genuinely, like it's sparking. Like, what you
have won the debate because you failed to understand a word. You know, you absolutely understand what I'm saying. That's your win.
No,
that's
basically, if you were consistent about this,
way to go.
about marginalized group, then you wouldn't have somebody in here who's saying things like anti-Islam, somebody who's a public Zionist. You wouldn't have them in the stream because think about the Palestinians, for example, that feel marginalized by this. The thing is, the whole point, I came in here to just tell you.
How am I supposed to know that?
How am I supposed
to know that?
So you know more about faggots, but you don't know what's happening like around the world?
Don't worry, Sneako has no idea what's happening around the world either. You're in the same boat there.
Listen. How the fuck are you gonna lecture me about what's going on with other religion?
I'm not lecturing.
And Israel
I'm
and
not
whatever.
lecturing you.
Well, you don't even know about the one book that you love so much. It's like you say, "Oh, dude, what is it? These 10 books?" I'm like, "Dude, what is that one book? It's the one that you really love." And you don't know about it.
No,
the guy that doesn't read books. I'm supposed to be the master of all books. Like me.
I don't know. What are you talking about? First off, I answered every question.
Why do you want me to be the master of books? I don't read books.
What are you
But at least it's better than you. You don't even know how to. You don't even know your one book you love.
I answered every question about the Quran.
No, you did not.
What did I answer? What did I not answer?
Oh my God.
What did I not answer?
Bro, any of the questions that were asked, the age of consent, where you draw that morality?
Yeah, that's the age of consent isn't in the Quran.
What?
You heard exactly what I just said.
And do you think that's a good thing? You think that's a good way to navigate the world?
You're moving it again. So you said I didn't know anything about it. I said I did, right? My whole point of saying this is that you draw the line around the word faggot, not because it's like anything to do with morality, not because you care about marginalized groups, because this is a lie from the blue-haired people, is that they care so. Let me explain. Is that you care so much and like, oh, you want to have an inclusive place for all this. It's because if you were going to be consistent with your inclusivity, then you would not have these people in here who are public Zionists, who are here supporting genocide.
But I don't know that about them because
this isn't even a good question. Like, oh, well, if you care about being inclusive, shouldn't you want to be inclusive to all types of people? Like, if that, like using that logic, we should be inclusive to child rapists and pedophiles. It doesn't make any sense. It's a stupid fucking point. The idea is that there are certain characteristics that probably shouldn't be seen as bad. XQC obviously doesn't think that being gay is a bad thing, so he doesn't want insults that make it seem like being gay is a bad thing.
Him saying like you bring it up like murderers and child rapists, like see that actually harms people. Saying the word faggot doesn't harm anybody.
There is a harm there. I'm sorry, wait, you don't think there's harm in language?
Absolutely not.
Oh, really? Do you think there's harm in drawing pictures of people?
Absolutely not.
Oh, so then people should be able to draw pictures of Muhammad?
No, absolutely. You shouldn't be able to. It's not harm. It's something wrong.
Wait, okay. What do you call something that's wrong? Hold on. What do you call something that's wrong towards a group of people? What's another word for that, Sneako?
That's wrong towards. You're equating harm to something that's theological. Like ideas and words, they don't actually harm you. Harming is something that's physical.
Oh, so okay. Then what's
if you're gonna have free speech and you're gonna have like talk about marginalized, be consistent with who you marginalize and be consistent with. It's either you allow free speech and you allow insults to broke people, to thugs, to all these people, or you don't.
No, that's not. Nobody. What are you
taught?
You absolutely can pick and choose groups that you think are important and groups that you don't think are important. Welcome to all of society. What are you talking about?
If you're online, so if you think that it should start and stop at this word, then you should be consistent with it. Because
he is consistent. The idea is you shouldn't make fun of people for their sexuality, for their race, probably for their religion is one of the things he brought up. You can have these groups. That doesn't mean you have to protect every single possible marginalized thing. You just have categories of things you care about protecting.
We all know this. He would not have left the call if he made fun of a different race or a different religion. He left the call specifically when he said talked about gay people.
If they use the N-word in that way, I would absolutely left the call. What?
They say the N-word all the time.
Like it's a slur.
Oh my goodness. You're so... Why are you so obtuse? What are you gain by doing that? Have better arguments and better point of contention when you have when you battle somebody or have some debate. Why don't we just have a better angle to hold instead of, oh, dude, but what about this? What about this? I don't want to get this.
Right. Okay, so
you're way better than this.
They say slurs all the time. They say racial slurs all the time in the streaming community.
It's not how I've known to know. A lot of times when they use some words, it's just not, and it's when they use it that way that I don't like it.
Which way?
When they use it in a hateful way.
That's what a slur is.
Exactly.
Okay, so do you think that Cuffem do you think he was being hateful?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the idea behind it at the time.
Okay. And that's the lie. See, and that's the lie. So the
that's
reason,
a line. That's a line. Not a lie.
No. That's a lie. Open up your ears a little bit. It's not the line. It's the lie. See, you don't actually care if the cameras are off and the streamers off, and even Destiny know this. And we said chink and all these words. No one would care.
It depends on what you're talking about. It depends on who you're with.
And it's for perceptions. If the camera's off, no one cares. We're all lying.
Well, if the camera's hold on, if the camera's off, it's a different environment. It's a different setting. If you're racist, which at this point you probably are, you can be racist around one person. That's a different thing than showcasing that racism or bigotry or hatred towards your entire fucking audience. That's so fucking retarded. That's like saying wow, you'll be naked in the shower, but you won't run around outside naked. So the only difference is you're performing for an audience. What a retarded thing to say. No, of course there's a difference between saying something privately with somebody versus being on stream in front of 100,000 people.
Absolutely not. See, if it
you're
happened,
actually fucking retarded. I got it. XQC, I've got to go because I'm going to kill myself if I stay in here and listen to this retarded anymore. Good luck. Holy shit. Okay, I'm going to go set up for my Bridger shit. Oh my God. Holy fuck. He's like the most NPC bot person in the fucking world. Kill me. Okay, I'm gonna go set up for my Bridger shit. I'm gonna talk to my good friend Richard Lewis. Go have fun with Sneako and XQC and go to his stream and have fun. Jesus Christ! Oh my God! How can you? You must be so embarrassed if you're Muslim and this guy's your fucking representative out here. Kill me! What does Islam have to do with politics, bro? These are. He can't even answer exactly where his morality comes from, and he can't give me the entire meta-normative and applied ethical position. Age of consent? Kill me, bro. My God. Okay, I love you guys. I'll be in Bridges in a bit.